this is an icon of Joseph actually sitting in the power seat in Egypt. And Joseph had brought his 11 brothers into Egypt with him when the famine was coming. This is an icon of it. It's an icon of Joseph. You know, he ain't no white man. This is an Israelite right here. What this brother was breaking down. It's an icon right here.
I got a little more on this.
All right, go ahead, read on.
All right, it says, before Abram came into Egypt.
Oh, we got these sellers walking by. Do you know America's going to be destroyed in a thermonuclear war? Don't give a damn how crispy clean your sheets are. You're going to be destroyed. All right, go ahead.
Before Abram came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning. For that science.
Basically, the Egyptians were a bunch of dumbasses. Yeah. The ones that came into power, the reason why they came into power, because of Joseph. All right? One of the sons of Jacob. All right?
For that science came from the Chaldeans into Egypt, and from thence to the Greeks also.
And then it came to the Greeks. All right? Now, I told somebody to go get something.
Jeremiah 51.
Go ahead, give me that.
Jeremiah 51 and 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
That's plain. So we're the #1 nation on the planet Earth.
Oh, I got a scripture for you.
Go ahead.
Dealing with Egypt. Isaiah the 30th chapter, the 1st verse. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord.
Now the rebellious children is talking about the Israelites, because there were a number of Israelites that wanted to stay in Egypt. And now this is America's modern Egypt, and you got a lot of our people that want to stay in modern Egypt.
Right.
Go ahead.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, when you follow these other religions and these other philosophies, you're really committing sin. Go ahead. You're transgressing the law. Because it says you shall have no other gods before me.
Right.
So that's one of the top commandments, man.
That's the first one.
That's the first commandment.
Right.
My name is the Most High. You shall have no other God before me. Right. Neither shall you make to yourself any graven image. So when you talk about praying 5 times a day to Allah, you're sinning against the Most High. You know what's going to happen to you? You're going to die.
Right.
Now, if you're talking about, I read out the Egyptian Book of the Dead, you're going off, you're going against the Most High, you're going to die. All right? Go ahead.
Second verse. That walk to go down into Egypt.
Right, which is America. Go ahead.
And have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right, America, because like I said, the modern day Egypt is America. Go ahead.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
Yeah, you're going to be ashamed on that day. Go ahead.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
Oh, I got you.
All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt.
Right, this is not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about modern Egypt, which is America. Go ahead.
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Go ahead.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Right, in other words, you got the Democrats against the Republicans. You got the South against the North. You got everyday crackers that want to get along with everybody against the crackers from down south, the patriots, the patriotic type crackers. All right, go ahead.
And they shall fight every one against his brother.
Right, so there's not just going to be a race riot against Israelites against Edomites, but there's going to be Edomites fighting against Edomites. It's going to get bad out here, man. All right, go ahead.
And every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
Right, so America's getting ready to go down. Right. Go ahead.
And I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits.
Right, because there's going to come a point where they're not going to follow the government. They're going to be praying to their secret idols and their secret gods. Go ahead.
And to the wizards,
Go ahead.
And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
Now that might very well might be George W. Bush.
Right.
All right? All right, you got what I tell you again?
Ezekiel 37.
Let's read.
Ezekiel 37:1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Now stop right there. The valley is talking about America. What does the word valley mean? It means low land. All right? Because America is a low land. Okay? You got something? Go ahead.
This is Psalms 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Now what did King David mean by that? He said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. First of all, a valley is a low land. You got low life living in that land. There's two types of valleys. It could be physically low, between two mountains, that's a valley. But low can mean low on a moral level, on a spiritual level. No scruples.
Integrity.
Like you call a person a low life.
Right.
All right?
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
His rod and his staff was what? The Most High's rod and his staff, which was the word. Because go from there to the book of Isaiah 33 and, what is that, 33 and 6?
The real comforter.
The real comforter, right. Right, the comforter is the Bible. There's not no man walking around saying he's a comforter. The comforter is the Bible, right? The spirit of truth, okay? Go ahead.
Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Right, so that's what David was talking about. Now when he said that he was in the valley of the shadow of death, meaning you're in this low land, and the shadow of death is like looking over you, because at any given moment you can be put to death.
Right.
And they always speak about that in the news. When these white boys and white girls live up in Scarsdale, right now they're killing each other, but they're killing each other. At one point they blocked those little hamlets and cul-de-sacs. If a nigga came up in there, a cop would pull him over, man. Like, what you doing up in here? There's certain places in Connecticut, like where Diana Ross lived, where you gotta go in Greenwich, Connecticut, where they got these big mansions and these big McMansions, these big houses, where they got a security guard, but the security guard is an actual police officer. And when you go in there, then he's gonna inquire, what are you here for? All right? And if you ain't got the right answer, guess what? You're going to jail. You're going to get arrested, all right? Go ahead. But now you crackers are killing yourself, man. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
You said 65?
29:65.
Oh, 29:65. Right.
I'm sorry, 28:65.
Right.
And among these...
There's no 6. Oh, 6. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
So you ain't living easy, man. There was a thing in the news earlier today about how these people are losing their houses. They're foreclosing, and they had an expert on there, and they said the #1 group that's losing their houses and foreclosing on their houses are blacks and Puerto Ricans. Those are Israelites, man. So just because you worked a good job and you think you're going to make it, you finally got the American dream, well, that American dream done turned into a nightmare, okay? That's what you get for trading. The brother read that earlier about trusting in Egypt, man.
Right.
You trust in America, man. That's why you send your kids to go to war, and they come back in body bags or missing legs. Good for their damn asses, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. The valley of the shadow of death.
Right. Thy life shall hang in doubt before you.
And thou shalt fear day
Go
and
to
night.
a white neighborhood. Go somewhere out in Long Island and get lost, and you see nothing but white people, man. Especially ones that's wearing caterpillar hats.